Okay, let's dive right into this because today we are unpacking a truly profound intersection between ancient archetypes and modern leadership. If you're a focused learner, someone actively looking to completely clear out those stubborn internal blocks and lead with absolute crystal clear clarity, well, you are definitely in the right place. In this explainer, we're going to explore this incredible narrative map that actually combines Dr. Darren Weissman's chakra teachings with the ancient wisdom of Rabbi Nachman's The Tale of the Seven Beggars. It's basically a blueprint for achieving what we're calling guilt-free living. So I really want to pose this question directly to you, right out of the gate. How do you lead when you're secretly weighed down by guilt? I mean, let's be real. Burnout, those pesky limiting beliefs, and just deep-seated internal guilt, they often create what ancient tales refer to as a fragmented forest in our minds. It's this dark place of alienation and disorientation, and it actively blocks true ethical leadership. We try so hard to lead our teams, our families, our communities, but secretly, we're carrying around this immense spiritual weight. And we absolutely have to fix that, because the ultimate goal of ethical leadership is exactly this, combining spiritual algorithms with practical systems to create environments that just thrive. It's about building a reality where peace pays more than more, and prosperity is structurally guaranteed for all children. But to build that kind of reality on the outside, we first have to master it on the inside, right? Section 1. The burden of modern guilt. So true leadership absolutely requires inner clarity. But here's the catch. Most of us are burdened by our own internal broken kingdom. We carry around these really deep patterns of separation, guilt, shame, and this almost desperate attachment to the illusions of wealth or control. And too often, we just suppress these shadow elements instead of actually facing them head on. We buy into these old family or societal beliefs that frankly just don't serve us anymore, and it traps us in this endless cycle of judgment and resentment, and that literally drains our energetic centers. Section 2. Your internal broken kingdom. And this brilliantly illustrates the contrast we face every single day as leaders. On one side, we've got our broken characters. These are the parts of us driven entirely by worldly logic, the desire for conquest, and these deep-seated fears around money. But on the other side, we have the awakened archetypes. These are the parts of us driven by holy yearning, or what is known as ratzon, and true self-mastery. The entire journey of the ethical leader is moving from broken to awakened. It's all about shifting out of that worldly view based on logic and shame and stepping fully into a spiritually transcendent paradigm. To actually do that, I'm going to challenge you to identify with these misguided parts of yourself. Do you maybe resonate with the country of wealth? That part of us that worships money and constantly fears losing it? That represents a blocked root and sacral chakra. Or maybe you're more the unredeemed warrior, desiring control, manipulation, and constantly seeking the approval of others. That's a blocked solar plexus. Or perhaps you feel a bit like the scattered kingdom, totally overwhelmed by feelings of alienation, failure, and loneliness. And that means your heart chakra is blocked. Recognizing these internal characters is literally the first vital step to guilt-free living. Section 3. The Seven Beggars Map. We're bringing in this ancient story of the seven beggars, not just as some old fairy tale, but as a highly actionable diagnostic map of the human psyche. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how these perceived physical limitations actually represent immense spiritual powers. Top to bottom, they perfectly map to your chakras. Think about it. The beggar without feet represents the root chakra, establishing simple faith or emunah by realizing true security isn't about chasing worldly desires. The beggar without hands? He heals the sacral chakra, dropping that fear of losing money to attain holy joy or simcha. And the hunchbacked beggar bears the weight of the world through the solar plexus, taking full responsibility without ever needing approval. Every single beggar shows us exactly how to clear a specific internal block. Let's spotlight a really crucial one for leaders, okay? The stuttering beggar. This character represents the throat chakra and the practice of dibber, which means holy speech. In the story, this beggar stutters whenever he tries to talk about worldly vanities, but he perfectly recites these beautiful songs of praise. This is all about surrendering your personal will to the divine will. It's about having the power to express your most authentic truth, piercing right through the story of lies and those deep patterns of shame that keep you trapped. Because when you lead with honest expression, you instantly empower everyone around you to do the exact same thing. Section 4. Releasing shame and judgment. Now that we have the map, let's look at the actual mechanics needed to drop these heavy burdens. Let's look at the heart chakra, represented by the beggar with the crooked neck. His neck is physically twisted away from the world's falsehoods, which is what allows him to sing such beautiful music. This aligns perfectly with the Breslov concept of asmara, which translates to I will sing. Asmara is this foundational practice of actively searching for the good points, the nekudot tovot, within yourself and within others. And listen, this isn't just fluffy positive thinking. It is the ultimate spiritual mechanism for unconditional forgiveness and completely transcending judgment. Here is exactly how you put it into practice. First, you have to completely suspend judgment, both of yourself and of others. Second, even in the midst of a massive failure or deep despair, you insist on finding just one pure good point. And third, you focus on that single point to radiate infinite love and compassion. And hey, notice I said yourself first. Why? Because you absolutely have to cherish yourself first. You can't lead anyone else if you're drowning in your own guilt. By finding your own good points, you spiritually elevate yourself, transforming hatred, grief, and anger right into hope and trust. Next up, we have to conquer our modern obsession with material success and logic. The death beggar and the blind beggar represent the absolute highest energy centers, the third eye and the crown chakra. To keep the story alive, you have to remember the narrative irony here. To gain true divine awareness, or dot, you actually have to become like the death beggar, deaf to worldly complaints and deaf to the constant need for logical validation. And to see the ultimate truth and attain batol, or nullification, you become like the blind beggar, blind to physical illusions, trusting your spiritual intuition entirely, and living fully in the present moment. Section 5. Guilt-free ethical leadership. This is it, the ultimate integration of your energy centers. So the crucial point is that when you process your internal pain through this map of the 7 beggars, you achieve what we call perfect presence. Think of the heroine Sarah from those arcade teen sci-fi narratives. You accept that your life is a vehicle for spiritual development, and you literally start making your own magic. You ground yourself in complete faith, and by radiating this love and healing, you transform your entire environment into a blue zone by osmosis. You become a leader who structurally guarantees peace and prosperity around you simply by clearing your own internal blocks. It's incredible. And honestly, it all anchors back to the singular, immensely powerful mantra from Dr. Darren Wiseman's meditation: infinite love and gratitude. Just take a second, breathe that in, and let it go. When you open your eyes and continue your day as a leader, you must remember that you are a spirit of pure love. You never ever have to go back to the guilt. Your light, completely stripped of shame and judgment, is going to continue to guide you on this path of infinite love and gratitude. Which leaves us with one final provocative thought to close out this explainer. Now that you're armed with the narrative map of the 7 beggars, and you actually understand the mechanics of clearing your internal blocks, how will you transform your own world today? I challenge you right now, find just one good point in yourself today. Release that guilt and step boldly into the ethical leadership you are destined for. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.